92.7. And listen to the former Vice President of the Republic, now flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, former Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
We will take the debate, the ideas to the country, and we will make our case. We are, however, saying that we will not be intimidated. You can arrest all of us. We will come back and make it our case to the people of Ghana. And so I want all of you to come together as we are doing to make sure that in 2028, MPP comes back. 2028, inshallah, it is going to happen in 2028. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. And we are going to work towards it. We are not going to sit down and say it will happen, but we are going to work. And that is why we are beginning the work early. And the training is to make sure that when we are in government, you will be able to occupy key leadership positions in this country. And that is where we are going to. The youth will take over the key positions as we move forward in this country.
Sunrise on 3
We will take
the
DESCON. DESCON. But a huge. Thank you very much. This is This is a great evening to herald the training program that you are going to go through in the next few days. MPP, we believe in the youth. And Dr. Bawumia believes in the youth. I want you to be assured that this training program is for your benefit. Because we want the youth to take key leadership positions. And we cannot get you into key leadership positions if we don't prepare you for the uptake of these leadership positions. And that is why this training program is going to take place over the next 2 to 3 days. 2028, inshallah, it is going to happen in 2028. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. And we are going to work towards it. We are not going to sit down and say it will happen, but we are going to work. And that is why we are beginning the work early. And the training is to make sure that when we are in government, you will be able to occupy key leadership positions in this country. And that is where we are going to. The youth will take over the key positions as we move forward in this country. You know that the vote is largely youth dominated. 2028, as was in 2024, will be a youth dominated election. And that is why we are going to really make a lot more effort with TESCON this time around than we did in 2024. So you are about 115 institutions who are here, and you will see me on a lot of campuses this year, next year, and 2028. We will take the debate, the ideas to the country, and we will make our case. We are, however, saying that we will not be intimidated. You can arrest all of us. We will come back and make it our case to the people of Ghana. And so I want all of you to come together as we are doing to make sure that in 2028 MPP comes back. We have
Sunrise on 3 FM, the best in the morning.
The big conversation on 3 FM Sunrise.
That was the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, former Vice President of the Republic as well, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. My guest in studio, Mr. Solomon Owusu, is the Director of Communications of the United Party. Engineer Kwame Prempeh is a former Deputy CEO of the Public Procurement Authority and also an MPP National Organizer aspirant. Comrade A.A. Gafaro is a member of the government communications team, and he's also very instrumental in the Savannah region on the ticket of the NDC. Northeast, sorry about that. Good morning, gentlemen, and thank you very much for your time. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning,
Great.
Mr. Hugh.
Great. Did the rain beat you, Solo?
No, I didn't. I swept it.
You
But
swept
I
it.
like it when when it rains. Yes, I like it.
You like it when it rains.
Yeah.
What about the rain do you like?
I can go and then relax.
I see. I see. Kafaru,
Johnny.
are you beaten by the rain too?
Well, not really, because actually from home straight to this studio
Okay.
in a vehicle, so I
Right.
wouldn't say I was beaten by the rain. But of course, I came in here smiling because I know the reset agenda is in progress.
I
and
see.
we are going to turn things around.
Hmm.
In fact, we are turning the corner, or we've turned the corner, I must say.
I hear you.
The real corner.
I see. Engineer, the rain, it's raining.
Oh,
is
it's
the ground soft for you?
Oh,
in terms of your crisscrossing across the country? is
in
it?
terms of that, then we are having rain or blessings, of rain. If we are discussing about my bit,
Yes.
it's going very well.
Is it soft for you?
Oh,
Is the
yes,
ground
yes,
soft
yes.
for you?
It's going very well. I mean, I've been doing the consultations and the discussions,
Sunrise
and,
on
definitely
3
going very
FM.
well.
The
And,
best in the morning.
I'm very, very, very hopeful. That it will happen.
We see. We thank God. Why are you insisting that there is press freedom decline and also that our democracy is under siege? Why, Engineer?
Johnny, first of all, let me say a good morning to the listeners, and also to you and the rest of the panelists here and those at 3FM today. And I hear you played a video for Voice of My Flag Bearer. He extends his greetings once more to all Ghanaians, once again. Johnny, I mean, I don't think it is us or anyone sitting somewhere and claiming that there's attack on press freedom. I mean, it's evident in things that are happening. Yesterday I accompanied one Nanado Nyame on TikTok to the police regional headquarters, because he was invited. He was accused, or he was reported to have insulted one chief or one district chief. Johnny, these are civil matters. This is not matters that the police should be, worrying themselves about. And I was quite amazed why they actually entertained the report from the said, person. We have gotten to an era where civil matters are being settled as if they are criminal matters.
Is it new to you?
Yes, I mean, at this level, at this rate, I mean, we are humans. Mistakes can happen here and there. Things can happen here and there, but not so consistently.
Is it new to you?
Yes, consistently like this, yes, it's new to me.
At this level?
At this level, at this consistency. I mean, it has gotten to a level where even some of your colleagues are even complaining about it, on air, So it is not us saying it. If you look at the cases since 2025, February 2025, coming, you see consistently, people are being deprived of their freedom. Civil cases are being treated as if they are criminal cases. Look at, let's look at what happened with our, one of our constituency organizers. He just posted a photo on Facebook saying Doomsday is back.
Right.
And that was an offense. I mean, how many times did you not hear, people criticizing the president, ministers, and all that? How is that a criminal offense? Look at the case involving Abronye. When you see somebody criticizing a judge, how does that bring about, causing, fear and panic? Right? The judges are above reproach. Can nobody criticize a judge anymore or anybody anymore?
At the
in this
expense of
country?
scandalizing the court. He is
Oh,
learning.
how did he
He's learning
scandalize
to
the court?
read the law.
Have you read the cases? It was not about scandalizing the cause. It was about bringing about, causing fear and panic. That's what they are saying.
Singling out a judge to
No,
take
it was
him
a specific case.
to the cleaners.
No, it was a specific case, and then it's not taking him to the cleanest. It's criticizing him. And if you read it, it just doesn't make any sense. And it is happening consistently and consistently. Look at what happened, last year. And you see, and apart from people being arrested for no reason at all, I can also imagine that even in cases where there are investigations ongoing in cases of corruption, right? Alleged corruption, let me put it that way. And the CID or the BNI or the YOCO have initiated investigation. You are called to come and help for investigation, like it was done with Chairman Wuntumi.
Right.
Now, in the premise of our law, you are not. It is not by force for you to even answer questions when there is a suspicion that you've done something.
Right.
Right. So merely calling me to come and help in investigation, I come, you ask questions, I answer, I come with my lawyer. That is not a cause for detention. Because he was invited and he came. Why this long detention? If you have a case, put your case together, take the person to court, he will come and defend himself. And if he is found guilty, then whatever the law says that it should be done to him, it is done to him. But the case of using, the authorities to show people where power lies because they might have said something.
Is that what you see?
That is what I see that is happening. Look at what happened with Hanan. Right? All the noise that was made, we got to a point you say you are withdrawing your case. Fair enough, you are going to then reprocess him again. Why the cause for detention? The person has been coming to court all along. He's not a flight risk. You have all his documents, his passport and all his travel documents. Where is he going to go? Why detain him additionally because you want to ask additional questions? How does that make sense?
You think that constitutes showing where power lies?
That is what showing people where power lies.
What happened to Gregory Afoko?
What I'm saying is that Gregory Afoko's own was not a politically motivated issue.
It was not?
No, from where I say it wasn't. But the fact what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that's
where
never
the
happened
court
before.
had discharged him, but he was still being kept.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that it has never happened before. What I'm saying is the consistency and the number of cases. That's what I'm talking about.
But where a court says, leave the man to go, and you still kept the man.
Again.
That cannot be compared to this in any way in terms of weight.
Sure, but how many cases are we talking about here?
One life is enough.
Oh, I'm talking about the consistency. The consistency. And it's not only me saying it, and not only MPP saying it. Anybody at all, who's looking at this with the neutral glasses will tell you that this doesn't make any sense.
What do you want the government to do? What is your wish?
No, I mean, my wishes, or what should be done, we must all follow the law. Simple. People must be given the space to express their opinion. People must be given the space to be part of the democracy. Last time I was on UTV, and when these things had happened, one of the panelists, threatening me, or this is the reason why some of you are picked up when you say something.
You were threatened?
Oh, yes.
Did you tell the police about it?
I didn't need to go and tell the police about it because I knew it wasn't going anywhere. But I answered him there. What I answered, you are not going to silence me, because you are going to arrest me for frivolous cases. No way. No way. I'm here to contribute my quota to our democracy. And I'm not going to let anybody at all, threaten me, especially when I know I have done no wrong. And that is what is happening. And it should stop. They should put a stop to it.
Do you know my colleague Tilapia?
Yes.
He put up a cartoon of Dr. Baumia and Samira. And he was literally being chased around.
Chased around by who?
Tilapia doesn't come to the office anymore.
No, chased around by who? I don't know by who.
This is the roadside.
Oh, but he was chased around by who?
This is the roadside.
I mean, I also learned some time back, there was one blogger who was also said he was being arrested. Up to now, we don't know who arrested him. But he was claiming he was kidnapped or
Bongo Ideas.
Yes, I heard something like that. Who arrested that guy?
You didn't know about Bongo
No,
Ideas?
maybe you can tell me. Maybe I didn't know. Who arrested him?
Do you know Ajafo of Modern Ghana and his team?
My question is, who arrested him? You just spoke about Tilapia. You said he was being chased. And I asked by who?
You don't know.
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay.
Maybe a lot of our listeners will also
Do you know Ajafo and Modern Ghana?
What happened to him?
He was taken to the BNI and he was hanged upside down. That is nothing. I covered that story.
Again, Johnny, two wrongs will not make a right. Right? What I'm saying is, when you asked me initially, has this never happened before? And I'm saying I won't sit here and say it has never happened before. I'm talking about the consistency and the frequency of it is happening now.
Okay. So
That's what we
you
are
don't
talking
want it to happen.
Ideally, it shouldn't happen at all.
But even if it should happen, it should be minimized. Is that what
It shouldn't
is
happen
is
at
that
all.
what I hear you say?
No, what I'm saying is that it shouldn't happen at all. But as we are humans, people may err, something may come up. But when it is consistent and the frequency is increased, and it's a deliberate and it is targeted.
Are you not
You
crying
get my point.
wolf?
How? Johnny? Johnny, how am I crying wolf?
No, I'm just asking you.
But it happened to your colleague as well.
Best in the morning.
How am I crying wolf? People are being detained for no reason at all, and you say I'm crying wolf. Am I making up the stories?
No, I'm asking you. Because Bobia says case is still in court. His was purely a civil matter that was turned into a criminal matter. It's still in court. Under your watch.
It's still in court.
Yes. A civil matter.
Okay.
That land had been acquired by the former first lady and former second lady.
No, you said under my watch or under MPP's watch.
You're
For
speaking.
the last I checked, the NDC has been in power for the last 16 months.
No, I'm saying that the matter started
No, if
under.
there was, what I'm saying is that if there was nothing in the matter, when the Attorney General came, he threw out certain cases. He could have also threw that one out if there was nothing in it.
So you think there's.
So I don't think it's something that is an MPP issue.
But do you think that the civil matter should have been graduated to a criminal matter?
No, I don't know the gravity of that case.
That
I
I
don't know
accused you of
No,
going to take
again,
state lands.
I don't.
How is that criminal?
Johnny, I don't know the details of that case.
No, I'm giving you the details now.
Oh.
That I accuse you, Engineer Kwame Prempeh,
Again,
my
I don't know-
brother.
I can't respond to that case because I don't know the details. But what I'm saying is, if it was a frivolous case and it was started under MPP, and the Attorney General think it's frivolous, he could have thrown it away.
Ahmed Swale is still there though.
I'm listening.
Ahmed Swale.
Yeah, I'm listening.
He died under witness protection.
I'm listening.
Under your watch.
I'm listening.
He's still dead.
Uh-huh.
He's not. His killers have not been found.
I think it should be found.
That is not press suppression.
But by who? Who killed him?
I don't know.
Exactly. We don't know. But the cases that we are discussing, we know. We know the people who are prosecuting them.
The best in the morning.
So let's not try and mix, things.
No,
Let's not
nobody's
try and
mixing.
compare,
I'm just
compare
giving you instances of-
apples with oranges.
No.
And I've also
So
stated
this is
here.
apples and oranges for you.
What I'm saying is that I've stated here that I'm not saying it has not happened before. I'm not saying we were living in a perfect society under MPP. I'm talking about the frequency and the consistency of cases. And you are bringing up some issues. It's an issue that started under MPP, which is still there. And I'm asking you, if it was frivolous, why has the Attorney General not thrown it out up until now?
Fair point. Gafaru, why are you intimidating the opposition? What have they done to you?
Johnny, let me first of all say good morning to the good people of Northeast, especially my communication officers and their deputies, as well as the regional communication team.
And let me also mention that we're live on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale. Kesmi, yeah, 107.1 in Tamale. So Prempeh's constituents there, they would hear him. And,
So, my regards to them. They are doing so well as I am away, doing other things for the party.
Sunrise on
Now,
3FM.
Johnny,
The best in the morning.
the NDC, as a government, condemns any arbitrary arrest of anybody for merely criticizing government. I'm not sure that defines who we are as a government. No,
So why is it
that
happening?
doesn't define us.
So why is it happening?
And of course, what was condemned in the past must be condemned today.
So why is
But
it happening?
Just to put it on record, unlike in the past, when arrests would have been under the tacit approval of the president and people, who matters in the past government. Under this, let me assure you that there are some arrests that you would hear or see NDC appointees, including communicators, condemning it and say this is bringing unnecessary tension. Let's put that on record that we don't approve many arrests. But there are instances in which some arrests, you see, we have independent, state institutions that are supposed to protect
Which arrest have
the
you
rule of law.
protested against?
I'm building up a point.
No, I
that
want
are
to
supposed build.
understand the arrest
Yes.
that you have protested against. Then we can take it from
No,
there.
there are a couple. For instance, an organizer posting that the Dumso is back. Why would someone arrest such a person? It's unnecessary. It's irrelevant unless otherwise there is something that the state institution or agency that arrested the person is having that we are not privy to, because it's not everything that government will be aware, because they are independent state agency, mind you. But you see, in as much as we would condemn any arbitrary arrest for merely criticism of government, it must also be stated that, Johnny, that he who comes seeking equity must come with clean hands. Must come with clean hands. And of course, when we are talking about arrests, MPP as an opposition, they seem to have anterograde amnesia. They easily forget what's just passed recently, because they've left government not quite long. So when they are pointing fingers, they seem not to even recall what they themselves did. Because when we are talking about arbitrary arrests, they epitomizes that. Now, when you look at what happened, and you see, he was trying to run under the cloud of press freedom being suppressed. Meanwhile, he wants to rather refer to arrest or maybe suppression of political opponents, which is not the case. They are different things altogether. Free speech is a different thing altogether, and of course, suppressing press freedom is also a different thing altogether.
But then, if you listen to the party's organizer,
Yes.
general secretary, and the youth organizer, Nana B, Salam, and Justin Kodu Afrimpong, they insist that press freedom is being, is being suppressed, and they don't think that that's a fair thing to.
Statistics doesn't corroborate with
These
that
are two
assertion.
lawyers and one fine gentleman as well.
But we also have lawyers who would go on propaganda tangent, and I'm saying that assertion, statistics data doesn't corroborate with that. For instance, check on the CDD page. You realize that from 2017, our global press freedom rating was on around 20th out of 180 countries. They brought it down and it declined before they left power to 50th. We were around 50th. From 26th to 50th. Now, when we came, it's declined further to 52nd, in 2025. But now, as we speak, it is 39th, ranked 39th. This is how it has improved. Now, what is their record as far as this kind of, because he made mention about consistency. His concern is about consistency.
That's
because
right.
once we pointed to some of the happenings under their care, their watch, he now ran under the cover of consistency. Now, check something regarding what their record is. We were in this country when Oliver was arrested and charged for, felony, treason felony, over a social media post. We're in this country when Captain Smart, who is also a media person, was arrested. Several arrests for him we can't even count. We're in this country when Manasseh Azura had to leave this country to run for his life. This has never happened under our care, under our government, whether in the past or now. It has never happened. Caleb Koda, also a media person.
Right.
As well as Zoe Abu Bedu, if I get
Zoe Abu Bedu, yeah.
They were picked at the precinct of City FM. This was what you were doing. These were your records. Apia Stadium in 2017, when you came, you arrested him for just a comment. Dr. Ofosu Ampofo, a sitting a national chairman, my own boss, was arrested for merely,
there was a secret recording suggesting that there was some conspiracy going on.
The point is, we believe it was doctored. And based on that, he has been
the matter is before court, so I don't want us to.
Of course, I know, but I believe that he was unfairly, arrested in a sense that under their care there were many audios that leaked, and when you say, they will say it's doctored. But when we said his the audio that was related to him was doctored, they said no, he has to go through prosecution. This is the double standards we are talking about. Under their care, Koko Anyidu, who is no more an NDC member, was equally arrested and detained for several days. My own boss, lawyer Sami Jamfi, was arrested immediately he came out of this studio of UTV by plainclothes men that we didn't even know who they were. Arrested and then detained for some minutes till he was given bail, granted bail, just for commenting. Comments. This is your record under your care. Bobby answer that you've mentioned. So if we are talking about arrest, but of course, Johnny, the mere fact that you are affiliated to a political party should not be an immunity to the law. It shouldn't be an immunity to the law. Democracy does not mean immunity to law. Democracy includes allowing state institutions to work. That's what democracy is. But if you decide to now have amnesia when it comes to things that affects MPP, but you are sharp and loud, very loquacious when it comes to issues happening or affecting your own party, but when it comes to issues affecting other parties, you are fine. You are good to go.
Dr. Baumia says they will take the debate. He said they will bring the debate to you. You can arrest all of them. They will bring the debate to you.
Well,
anyway.
If all of them, try to break the law, all of them will be arrested.
Hey.
Because the rule of law must be allowed to work. It doesn't matter the number. It doesn't matter the number. Are we not in this country when they say no one is above the law?
That's right.
So even he as a flag bearer, who is my uncle, breaks the law, he must be arrested. He must be arrested because he's not above the law. President Mahama was under investigation in opposition, a former president. So he himself is not bigger, he's not above the law. When we see a clear case of someone, being caught in a contempt of law, and the person is arrested, then you think anytime a person is arrested, because the person is affiliated to your party, the matter or the subject matter with regards to why they arrested the person should be.
Look at how many times you have arrested Abronya, for example.
At any point in time, it is about wrongdoing. At any point in time, it is about wrongdoing. Who should tell or who informs the MPP that when someone who is a regional chairman breaks the law, the person must be allowed just because the person is a regional chairman? It mustn't be so. Then we should just scrap state institutions. We should scrap, law enforcement agencies, that they shouldn't do their work. They shouldn't do their work. You sitting here, Johnny, you have had your fair share for merely doing your work as a journalist. I wonder why they never even arrested you. But what happened behind us, some of us may not be privy to. No, I'm saying, because now, look at the point is, other people were arrested because of that, and others had to run out of the country. Maybe because he was having that hard heart, or he's someone who doesn't care what happens. He will do his work. Maybe it's as a result of his demeanor and his posturing and what he believes in. That's why he wasn't arrested.
Don't crack easy.
But what we are saying is, as a government, like we see, we operate differently from the MPP. If it must be condemned or it was condemned in the past, it must be condemned now.
So you're doing nothing wrong.
We are doing, and I'm saying those special cases, like for instance, the organizer issue, the one who possessed that Dumso is back. If it is the mere fact, like I'm oblivious of what other charges were given, but if it is from the mere fact that the person posted that
Dumso is back
and the person was arrested, it's condemnable, and I'm sure President Mahama will never subscribe to that, and that must stop.
But for the others who make reckless comments, you say they should be arrested.
No, if it is reckless comment, which is maybe, for instance, a comment that impugns the integrity of the law court or a judge, you must not be allowed to, you must not be left off the hook. You must be reprimanded. You must be hauled before the law court.
But that should have been a direction from the court to have that arrest effected. That should not be the police acting on its authority. Because you see, the police have had cause now to pay Bridget Otu and others 150,000 cedis each, and also to apologize to them merely for harassing them for going to protest. That also for me is press freedom, freedom of expression, curtailment, etc.
Agree. That
Now,
is why we are,
so the police should have learnt a lesson from this and not be going on that tangent.
no, the point is, the police, I don't think it is, solely defined that the court should have issued that arrest before the police effect that. Police is supposed to enforce law and order. And once you do something which is in breach of the law, the police must do their duty.
Okay.
Unless the police now arrest you and go and the court say, no, this one, it is this. But they are also having prosecutorial powers. And if it is not defined that this one, it must be for the court to decide, or this one, it must be for BNI. Sometimes their rule overlap. They overlap. That's why the last time I was here, although you remember I said, I believe that we have so many agencies that are established to fight corruption, and that I don't think it is appropriate.
For the
SP. Yes, we should have maybe one or two, and it's enough.
Okay.
Let
me bring in Solo. Solo, the MPP insists that our democracy is under siege and that press freedom is also being endangered. What do you think?
Good morning, Mr. Hughes. And
Good morning, Mr. Osu.
My brothers in studio. Let me quickly pass a comment on the nationalization attempt of our mining sector, as we discussed this morning. I'm with you through and through. Let me tell the Chamber of Mines, my brother Ken Ashigbe, that this battle he will not win it. Foreigners have been mining here for a long time. We have not seen anything. And you were spot on when you cited Obuase's example. Sometimes we allow people to use grammar to justify unseriousness in the system. What is wrong with the Ghanaian owning the mining companies? So this battle, he must understand, notice served. We and the Chamber of Mines, we wear one pant. Because they cannot confuse anybody. You are serving the interest of the West. The Chamber of Mines, is it not the Anglo Gold, the Goldfields, the Newmonts? Are they not foreign companies? So if you are speaking for them, you want us to take you. You see, they deceive the minds of the people.
How?
By creating the impression that Chamber of Mines is as though it's a chamber that is for Ghanaian-owned companies. It's a foreign company that you are leading. So allow us to take charge of our destiny. Allow us to control the economy so that our people who be living a good life. I don't have a problem if it's a Ghanaian that is misusing our resources, so long as it's Ghanaian who is going to use it locally. Fortunately, South Africa, they are even sacking it. They say we should go back to our country. We must start with that goldfish mine. That lease must never be renewed under any circumstance. The Ghanaians that will be repatriated from South Africa, we will compensate them with the proceeds that we make from there.
I hear you.
That is the first point. Number two, you see, that is why I keep saying that the MPP has lost its bearing.
Oh, how did they lose the bearing?
The party has lost its way. And when you lose your way, it's better you take introspection, deep one, as a deep breath, and recognize where you went wrong, and you come back home. That one will help them. Johnny, your own station. I won't even go anywhere.
You stay here.
We are talking about the press freedom, not gagging people here and there. Media general. What has been your experience with the political party called the MPP? What has been your experience? Look, openly at a press conference. That's why I have never forgiven Jama Buga. And I would never forgive it, because if for nothing at all, the MPP became a vibrant party. At least when I was in the party in the 90s, we were complaining that, Jerry Rawlings and the stars were always after us. It took the media fraternity to make this political party attractive. They blacklisted your media station. In fact, journalists that attended their conferences were in harm's way. You couldn't. They will beat you. I remember Joy FM also. You know when they all marched to Yoko.
Yes.
These are not state institutions.
Nana Kumia and the rest of them apologized back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was back in the day.
You understand? So your own record must lead you into that conclusion that you must be out of these discussions, so that those of us who believe in press freedom, who believe in freedom of speech, will come and make these bold statements.
But the engineer Prempe says, look, the fact that it happened in the past must not be justified to be happening now.
When you ask him a simple question, I'm very surprised. He went to Prempe calling no character and integrity. Politics must not deviate him from that that fact. When you ask him a simple question, about what's the gentleman you used?
Gregory Afeko.
Gregory. Is that one who arrested him? Was it? No. Principle, you must be consistent. Consistency is very key. Your records are nothing to write home about. Mensa Thompson. Asepa. Just commenting on the fact that, look, he suspected that the daughters of President Akufo-Addo and Bomti had used a jet, the state jet, to go and shop in London. He found himself behind the bars. I didn't agree with that statement because that was a blatant lie, but he was arrested for it.
That's misinformation or disinformation.
That was disinformation.
And so it's against the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. But the point is that's what I say, that if a security apparatus finds what you are doing wrong, and it's the reason why when you are arrested, you have cause to call your counsel. Me, if a policeman arrests me and I feel that I have been done in an unjustifiable manner, I will sue the police institution. They are not about reproach.
Like Bridget and the rest.
Absolutely. So this matter, I don't know the head and tail of it. If anybody within the MPP feels that he is being manhandled, the best thing is to get your lawyers to sue the institution.
But Dr. Baumia says, like, look, you can't intimidate us.
I'm even coming there.
We will take the debate to you,
Johnny,
and then be cautious that power is transient. It will end.
He should allow the serial callers to be making these statements.
Oh, come on, please.
Because you see,
he has to show leadership.
What is leadership?
He has to lead the people from the front.
When he makes these statements, it hurts me, because the point is that he must live about reproach. First of all, which institution is engaging in these arrests? Isn't it the Ghana Police? Do you know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was the council chair of the Ghana Police for 8 years?
That's right.
As a council, you are responsible for providing direction to the management of the Ghana Police Service so that they reform the institution. Let's ask Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia what sort of reforms he engaged in at the time that he was the police chair. At least this administration, I don't remember the last time they recruited into the police service. They are now undergoing that. Is that not the case?
That's right.
What it means is that the police service that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia chaired is what is at play here. So if anybody must be blamed for the unprofessional manner by which they operate, the first person that has to be blamed has to be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
But he was working with people. He wasn't working alone.
But you were chairing. You were providing how the box stopped with you. Providing direction. What sort of direction did you provide? How did you reform the institution? For which reason you are complaining today? That is why I was saying that he must not be the one to be coming out, but rather must allow other people, such as us, to be dealing with the police, not even the central government. It's an institution that has carried out.
Is the NDC governor overdoing this?
I don't. Well,
you cough, they catch you. You sneeze, they catch you.
You see, the point
you wipe
is that,
your sweat, they catch you.
You see, when we reduce it to the political parties, it becomes an issue. Because the police service must be taken on. It's an institution that is doing that. If anybody, a faceless person, is sitting at the Jubilee House giving you bogus instructions and you carry it out, I don't see that bogus that instructions coming from that somebody from the Jubilee House. I see the police person as the one carrying out their mandate. And as to whether or not their mandate falls within the remits of the law, that is what we are discussing. So don't let us dignify or glorify faceless people who think that they have power, but rather let's go after those that actually carry out these.
And in carrying out that, the police is not supposed to be meddling in civil issues.
That is why you sue them.
So when a matter is clear,
yes,
that it is a civil matter.
Yes.
So the Bobia and Sam matter, for
Yes.
example, that I referenced.
yes,
The tilapia matter that I
Exactly.
referenced, the cartoon that he
Yes.
drew up. You can mention
that was a Salamat to Muhammad also.
Salamat, yes,
Yeah, who was arrested. Yes.
And then now these latest ones of somebody putting up a comment. Those are not criminal issues. Why should the police be
That is
concerning
why I am
itself with
saying,
those
you
ones?
You see, that's what I'm saying, that the corporates must sue, get their lawyers to sue the police. You see, we allow them to get away with a lot of impunity. They have names. If the moment you stretch it to the government of the day, you are missing the point. Because have you been told of any government appointee who instructed the arrest?
No.
Anyway, we must also not even exaggerate the situation. How many people have been arrested under the circumstances?
Oh, the consistency, Premper says.
Which consistency? How many people? Let's go into the figures. Prempeh has been speaking since the day of Adam. Who has gone to arrest Prempeh? And can anybody arrest him on a flimsy excuse? Look, we are all into politics. We are politicians. We know how people exaggerate situations. Somebody like Abroya, he has made his intentions known to everybody. That he wants an asylum. So he would do everything to justify why he must be given that asylum status. And guess what?
Which asylum?
Asylum to where?
Out of the country.
Out of the country. Didn't you hear him? He wrote officially that he wants to He wants to seek asylum in very rich countries like Germany, like the Netherlands, like the United States, like Canada. Abronya himself. Persecution. So he is preparing the grounds so that his application would be accepted.
But this is somebody who is working his way to become national chairman.
Wait, Abronya.
How does he want to seek asylum? And how does he want to become national chairman at the same time in the future?
He is not vying to be a national
No,
chairman.
not in this race, but he has ever
indicated.
indicated.
He himself said it. That he's seeking asylum in Canada, in Germany, in America, and so on and so forth. See the countries that he chose. And there has to be a basis. And the basis is that he's been persecuted. So if you are that person who has not been able to ground yourself or justify why you must be given asylum status, why wouldn't you start some
So
of
if
this?
Nana B, Salam, and Justin Kodria from Pond know that, the Fenyo Market, they all know that, why are they following him around them?
About his politics, I mean, if I were the Ghana Police Service, what Nana B and the rest did at the police service, I would have arrested them.
Oh, how?
That was
for expressing themselves.
No. You see, that was
for demanding.
No, how do you demand? You see,
but you have arrested somebody.
No, you have
We should
arrested
know where the
somebody,
person
but
is.
there are procedures. Fortunately, Nanabi is a lawyer. Fortunately,
Yes.
Kodia is a lawyer.
Yes.
See, sometimes we make our professors look so stupid.
Oh.
As a lawyer, you go there and behave like serial callers, shouting. Did they shouting bring the person? Right to the appropriate authority. If they misbehave, go to court. Get them to come and answer to you. Why they must keep somebody without the notice or the knowledge of his counsel. But we don't misbehave and think that because we are members of a political party, we are above the laws of the land. That cannot be. Even with that impunity, they got away with it. Who arrested them? They were let go. By the way, the policeman who has been leading most of the arrests, he was the same police person, Dapa. He effected the arrest during the SWAL administration tenure.
He's professional.
Absolutely. That's why I say that if you come and arrest me, I will not attribute it to any political authority. I will go after the police institution. I will go after you. So we must just get it instant. But the fact still remains. And I've heard it too many from the MPP fanatics as well. And the flag bearer has also echoed it. That when power changes.
Yes. When power changes, be careful. Because the day
My
of accountability.
goodness, is it coming from someone that wants to be the president of this land?
Why should it not come from him?
Encouraging impunity.
Why should it not
I
come
can
from him?
assure Dr. Mahmoud Baumia that with this singular statement alone, which will be played back, we will play this statement back to the people of this country.
You will play it
likely
back.
end up with 20%. You see?
You play it back as United Party.
United Party. See, you are seeking favor from the people. You want the people to have trust in you, to lead them. You believe that something that is going on today is not right, and for which reason must stop. And you are saying that the very thing that you are complaining in an unlikely event that in 2000 you become the president of this land, you are going to do the same thing. So why must we give you the power to come and do the same thing? Why must we?
Maybe he'll do it different. So
How is he going to do it differently?
So Johnny,
Tony
don't
Hughes.
be coming here.
How is engineer going to
Remember,
come in
I'll
this
come to
matter? Engineer, restrict yourself to engineering. You let's do politics. Can you imagine?
he should do what?
Restrict
You
himself.
are here as co-panelists.
Engineer, the point is that you ask engineer what happened in the past, they will be dancing around it. Then he will explain all his energies. Why are they doing this today? Meanwhile, engineer has been speaking all week. He goes home freely. And I don't expect anybody to even pick a phone and try to call him and say, why did you say this?
Do you think that, my final question to you before I go to engineer
Yeah.
and then Gafari, then we'll take a break. Do you think that, honestly,
Yes.
that the MPP is trying to create this put out a certain construct, so people get a sense that there is press freedom is being suppressed, that our democracy is under siege? Or do you think that they're actually speaking to the reality on the ground, which we must pay attention to and not necessarily poo-poo?
They are only as it were, trying to create an impression. It is not a reality on the ground. I just told you that they have more than 500 communicators across the country. Let's do a simple mathematics of it. How many of them have found themselves in this situation? It's a deliberate strategy by the MPP to just to court some levels of hatred for this administration. And that's why I'm saying that this government must also come hard at the police institution. At the police institution, for the police institution to behave properly. Because some of these things, you see, the Ghana police service that you have is highly political. You understand? So somebody may be doing something just to tarnish the image of this government. So if you are a government and you sit down and then you will not act, at the end of the day, you'll be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth. The family just said that they have disagreed with some of the arrests. Some of the arrests, when I hear, I flare. I said, well, how can any human being born, conceived for 9 months, think of even effecting such arrest? But if you are a government, you are going to sit unconcerned, they will use a non-existent situation to create a situation so that you will be battling with it. But this is not going to work because this is a democracy that all of us want to build. And we will make sure that we will not allow people whose trade, stock in trade, is founded on propaganda and negative one as such to thrive.
We're live on Kesme 107.1 in Tamale. This is 3FM 92.7. It's the big conversation. My guest, Solomon Owusu, Director of Communications of the United Party. A.A. Gafaro, a member of the government's communications team, is also a member of the NDC. And Engineer Kwame Prempe is a former Deputy Director General in charge of the PPA. Is also the NPP's national organizer, aspirant, hopeful. And Mr. Ebu Bakman of the United Party is also around the corner. Engineer, you had a rebuttal quickly. 1 minute each for you and Gafar, and we'll take a break.
Let me make it quick. You know, when I listen to...
he said you should restrict yourself to engineering.
Should I also tell him to restrict himself to law?
No, okay.
So, I mean, let's not go there. but anyway, you know, every time I hear him speak, it's like a man who has divorced a woman, you know, hoping that the woman... you know, the beauty will go away, or the woman will introduce it, and then all of a sudden you see the woman on the streets doing very well, even posher than before when they were married. And then you say it becomes so painful, it tends to hate.
Broken heart.
That is what has
this can only be an engineering. This can only be.
That's what I call my brother.
Solo, allow him.
So he talk with pain.
Solo, you have broken heartedness.
Oh, look at you.
You see, but to the substantive matter, you know, I'm glad that Solo agrees with Dr. Baumia. He said he was giving a warning to the institutions that are doing this, that they will account, as Solo is saying, that they should be held accountable. And that's exactly what Dr. Baumia is saying. He was not threatening anybody that when he comes, he's going to arrest people.
That's what he said.
No, he said...
Let's read the last paragraph of his statement. You read it.
In the point, he said the state institution must be held to account. And that's why we are going to account for it. You see, now, when I say we are trying to compare apples with oranges, you know, the names that we mentioned, Oliver threatened the coup.
That was a separate matter.
No, he was arrested 2 times. I mean, you're talking about that.
With the Leo McPalm, Dr. Leo McPalm conversation is separate from his Occupy Julobi House demonstrations, which Bridget Otu and the rest have been compensated for by the courts.
Yes.
And the police have now been asked to apologize. Those are two separate issues.
So, but it was he not arrested for putting out saying going to go?
So he was arrested for the
second time. We are talking about the second time.
Exactly.
When they went for
the second time is what Solo was referring to. The first time with Dr. Leo McPalm.
Solo has amnesia of the first one. Only the second time. No, you see, and what I'm saying is that, like I said, 2 wrongs do not make a right. Right? The fact that it has happened before doesn't mean that it should happen again and consistently. And that's what we are talking about.
Should you not be admitting, first of all, that we also did we think that it is wrong, and based on that, we also think it should not be happening, as opposed to coming to the table as if it has not happened before. Because if you read Dr. Baumia's statement, it gives you the impression that this never happened in the past,
but
and
this
now it is fresh.
This targeted, that one day I don't think has happened before. It has happened, in isolated cases. But only the last week, we have had 3 people gotten arrested. Only this past week, 3 people.
What did they do?
One of them was the Doomso.
Okay, and the other one?
Now they say he has insulted the sitting chief.
And then the third one?
And the third one is Abronye one. This is the last week. Only 1 week.
This week, actually.
This week. So if you don't speak against it, who knows what will happen the following week?
Are you scared?
Scared of what?
He's not scared.
Scared of what? Johnny? We're not scared of anyone.
Anyway.
We are not back to the PNDC. Even back then, our fathers and our uncles were not scared. Not now that nobody has a gun in front of you.
Okay. I hear you. Gafar, take a quick one on this and then let's take a quick break and change the topic.
You see, when MPP they are talking, it's as if, or let me say, they believe they are a different set of citizens, and so therefore should have different set of rules that they are being regulated with. Then the rest of Ghanaians who are supposed to be different, another set of second set citizens in Ghana, and are supposed to also be treated differently. That is how I feel when they are talking. And that was why I said they speak with amnesia. For instance, I would have expected that my uncle Dr. Bawumia, in his write-up, should have condemned what happened in the past when he chaired the Ghana Police Council. He should have condemned. Or, as a leader, you should use the opportunity to advise your members to be circumspective when it comes to your commentary in public. He hasn't done that. That is not leadership. Again, like Solo said, there are hundreds of MPP communicators, and there are people who are even more vociferous than those who have been arrested. For instance, Miracle, Awal Mohammed, Aaron Anchi and Co. They say a lot. They are very vocal. But of course, no one has touched them because they haven't probably breached any aspect of our law.
Are you suggesting that Dr. Bawumia is playing by double standards?
Of course. In fact, his action is a definition of double
because
standards.
If I hear you well, you say he should have apologized.
Apologized for what happened
and then admitted, and then before he goes on to
yes,
it. But he didn't do any of that.
A step ahead to advise his followers that they should be careful with their public commentary.
But he sees that as intimidation and harassment too.
You see, when there's a context or to whatever happens when it comes to arrest, or there is a subject matter, you can't just be arrested. Like I said, we condemn any arbitrary arrest for merely criticizing a government. This defines our democracy. And that is why, and of course, like you asked, under this democracy, we are still under democracy, and it is not in danger because we still have press freedom. We still have multi-party activities happening. No one has stopped MPP from organizing any party activity. And of course, they are doing that. And they are struggling to even come back together. I hope no one is, interfering. But when you come and break the law, that is my problem. You don't expect that you should have immunity or you should be impervious to whatever actions that would come thereof. That is our problem. So that double standards, my uncle Dr. Bama is a definition of that double standard, and he should take a step ahead and advise his people that they should be careful. And I'm sure even those who are not talking, there are many people who are in NDC, stakeholders who are not talking when it comes to this arrest, because they know what Abronya and Co even did to their own. What didn't they say about Alan Cash when he was with them? What didn't they say against Abronya say against what's his name? Kennedy Ajapong and Co. I hope you are getting it. No. The point is, it is not merely criticizing the person. When you go beyond criticism, like you insult a chief, it depends on how you construct it. A chief is a stakeholder. That can cause, anomy in society. When you attack a chief, there are some attacks that...
But that's a civil matter.
No, it's a civil matter, but of course, if it is something, a precursor to causing or damaging or destroying our peace that we live, they need to advise. Sometimes they arrest people. Look, police doesn't just arrest to punish you. Sometimes they even arrest to protect you.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you.
They say they are our friends. In fact,
let me let you rest so I can protect you. We'll see you shortly after this break.
The big conversation.
2.7, some 26 minutes after 9 on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We're also live on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale, and you can also join us on Facebook, on Instagram and X at 3FM 927. Join the conversation. Let's hear your own thoughts about the conversations that are happening in studio. Earlier we spoke about press freedom. Next we talk about the Constitutional Review Committee and matters arising. But we know that the 24th African Athletics Championship is happening in Accra, and Africa's biggest athletic spectacle is happening here, the Senior African Athletics Championship. It's live here in Accra, Ghana, believe it or not. Yes, it started on the 12th of May. It will end on the 17th of May. That's this weekend, 2026. The University of Ghana Sports Complex, Legon. That's the battleground where Africa's finest champions are going head-to-head in a thrilling track and field competition. You should see it and enjoy it. Now, come watch global stars like Beatrice Chebet, Toby Amusan, Joseph Fambule, Akani Simbene, Muzala, Samunkonga, and our very own Benjamin Azamati and Abdul Rashid Saminu. And this is going to be the speed you have been waiting for, the power you have been waiting for, the pride you have been waiting for. And this is Africa competing at its highest level. We waited for 4 decades, and now it's home. It's here in Ghana. Go support our own. The 24th Senior African Athletics Championships. Feel the heat. Champions within Africa, powered by the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, Confederation of African Athletics, and Ghana Athletics. Be there, feel it, live it, and witness history. Feel the heat. And the gates are open. As I mentioned, it's free of charge. It's rain today. It's a Friday. Go there with your family and friends and enjoy some good fun. Now, Engineer Kwame Prempe is my guest. He's a former Deputy CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, and is also an MPP National Organizer aspirant. Comrade A.A. Gafaru is a member of the Governance Communications Team. He's also a member of the NDC's National Communications Team. And Solomon Owusu is the Director of Communications of the United Party. They're in studio here with me. And gentlemen, welcome back, and thank you very much indeed. Usually, I would have wished for you to hear some of the conversations that we have when we are off air and we are playing the commercials for you, but those ones are for studio consumption only. We will get onto the conversation now. Professor Kwesi H. Prempe, H. Kwesi Prempe, sorry, has presented the recommendations from the Constitutional Review Committee that was set up by the President to make sure. This will not be the first time we've had a committee of that nature, but the President has indicated that he is determined to make sure that this sees the light of day and some implementation. It would take some time, referendum, etc., if we have to touch some portions of the Constitution, especially the entrenched clauses. But here are some of the recommendations for the presidency and the executive. It says to extend the presidential term to 5 years instead of the 4 years, and lower the minimum age from 40 to 30. So Professor H. Kwesi Prempe and his committee said instead of 4 years, we should have 5 years, and then also the age of qualification should be reduced from 40 years, which is the present situation, to 30 years. So it means that if you turn 30, you are able to aspire to become president of the republic, and if their recommendations go through, you then will be president for a period of 5 years, not 4 years. Now, they also say that the president's salary and benefits should be taxable. And currently, you know that our presidents don't pay tax, but their salary and benefits should be taxable. That's what Professor Kwesi Prempe and his team are suggesting, that an independent body should be set up for the emoluments, and not for us to have the ad hoc ones that we have at the end of every tenure. Now, relative to the presidency and the executive also, they said MPs cannot be ministers. Cap total number of ministers, including deputies, at 57. We know that President Mahama now is ruling with what, less than 60 ministers, about 50, 58, 57. So that's what they are suggesting, reiterating what is happening presently. But they say that the system where we have 50% of our ministers coming from Parliament should be a thing of the past. If you're a member of Parliament, be with the legislature. If you are a minister, be with the executive. You cannot be a member of the executive and the legislature at the same time. So MPs cannot be ministers. Also, they are recommending that we should allow criminal proceedings within 4 years of leaving office for personal acts. Now, this is for the president. You know that there is usually that how do I put it? The clause that allows for the president to literally indemnity clause. That was the word I was looking for. Indemnity clause. They say, well, you should within 4 years, if there's something against you, should be dealt with. Now, legislative and electoral effectiveness. That is another portion of the report, and it says cap Parliament at 276 members. You know that our Parliament has had to go through an increasing number over time. We had 240 at some point. Before then we had a lesser number, 140, and then we went to 270 and 275. In fact, we had 230, and they say cap it now at the present 276. That means that we will not have to create new constituencies, and that also means that the present chamber will be fit for purpose, and we may not have to necessarily go on to get another chamber. Dual citizens by birth can contest parliamentary seats without renouncing other citizenship. It reminds me of Jachi Kwesing in the Asin North conversation and his Canadian citizenship. Well, legislative and electoral effectiveness. It talks about creating independent registrar regulator for parties and campaign financing. Party financing is also key. They want it to be regulated. They want a certain provision made amendable by 75% parliamentary majority. That's semi-entrenched. Those are semi-entrenched clauses. Should be amendable by 75% of the parliamentary majority. And we'll go on to the next one. It said establish independent anti-corruption and ethics commission with prosecutorial powers in terms of accountability and judiciary. They also want the Supreme Court capped at 15 justices. Chief Justice serves single 10-year term. So if you're made Chief Justice, if their provisions, their recommendations go through, if you become a Chief Justice, you serve for a protected tenure of 10 years. And the total number at the Supreme Court should be 15 justices, not more, not less. Not more, but it could be less. Well, accountability and judiciary, strengthen asset declaration verification and allow unsealed records. You know that presently you declare assets, it's sealed until there's an issue with it, and reports that some people put newspapers in an envelope and submit it and seal it as their assets. He says, well, we should be allowed to open those documents and check them. Local government and development, they elect MMDCs instead of presidential appointment. This was a promise made to us in 2016 for 2018. It has not seen the light of day because the politicians were divided among themselves as to whether it should be partisan or non-partisan, or whether it should be by the electorate themselves. Well, he says that we should elect MMDCs. Also increase district assembly common fund by up to 10% of national revenue. Currently it's about 3% or so of total national revenue. And also make national development plan binding, require 2/3 parliamentary approval. We presently have a 40-year national development plan, but it is not binding on anybody. NDC has their own plan, UP has their GTP, NDC has their own plan, CPP has their own plan. Everybody comes to the table with their own plan. They say, well, we should have one plan, one blueprint for everybody. In terms of rights, justice, and environment, it says abolish death penalty. That's one. Create ecocide offense to fight illegal mining. Also add rights to food in custody, housing, and digital privacy. And then those are the ones that they're talking about here. In terms of natural resources management, public lands or resources vested in the people held in trust by the state. So public lands must be held in, by the state in trust for the people. Also to allocate at least 3% of resources or revenue to local communities, and we're just talking about gold, oil, and the rest. 3% of it, if a natural resource is found in your community, 3% of that resource, in terms of the revenue that is generated from it, should be reserved for you. Yesterday there was a cabinet meeting, Gafaru. What were the fallout, if you know? Share with us if you have any detail.
Johnny, thank you so much. First of all, I must say that it is every matured democracy. It is natural that people look into reviewing of constitution, reviewing our laws, in a sense that at any juncture, there are new developments that calls for the need to look into what happened in the past or what is regulating our state and our activities. And the call for review of the constitution has been there since its inception in 1992 and its implementation in 1993 January. Of course, there have been some major development when it comes to amendment. For instance, 1996, I am particularly aware that there was an amendment of the constitution where they established the Electoral Commission to ensure that there's free and fair election.
Right.
So it's isolated the Electoral Commission from having the executive having direct control of their activities, and which I think is good, and it has helped us. Also, in 1996, it also it was part of the reasons why they amended to ensure they redevelop the procedures in Parliament. So there's a need we look into the review. But I must say, as a party, NDC, we birthed the 1992 Constitution. We help in consolidating the 1992 Constitution. And of course, there's a need for us to be integral as far as the review is concerned, which we have been consistent. When you look under President Rawlings 1996, it happened. Under J.A. Kufuor, yes, of course, there were calls, civil society, opposition party, academics, there were calls, or there have been calls by stakeholders to review parts of the constitution, and also people who are well educated as far as our laws are concerned. But we didn't see any major attempts to review the constitution. And fast forward, under Mills Mahama administration, that's where we are aware of the Fiajo commission that was constituted. And of course, they came out and did their review, submitted it, but at a point it was stalled because there was a legal challenge. And fast forward, it seems that people have dragged their legs and it didn't happen. We didn't see the implementation. Even in 2012, there was an implementation committee that was also set, but that also never saw the light of the day. Now, under President Akufo-Addo, the call still continued, even intensified because of what was happening. But unfortunately,
what was happening?
We had a lot of novel occurrences. For instance, hang parliament, how you are going to choose speaker.
Right.
At this juncture, what is going to happen? There was a lot of debate and uncertainty. And that even intensified the call for us to review our constitution and the need for us to review the constitution.
That's okay. That's great.
We didn't see any major activity. Neither did he attempt to implement the Albert Fiajo committee report, or did he commission a new bring out a new committee. Now, under President Mahama, like I said, we birthed the constitution. We need to ensure that we make it workable for the Ghanaian people. It was part of our campaign promise to ensure we see to it that the review happens. And that's why in early 2025, a committee was formed. And their report has been submitted. Government will look into it. A white paper would be issued. Those that they would accept, they would accept. Those that perhaps they see no need to accept it would also be stated in the white paper. Then those that are entrenched aspects of the clauses of the constitution would be sent for a referendum. So we are looking into it. As part of looking into their report was the reason for the cabinet meeting. But I'm not privy to the outcome.
But
for
you're
now.
a government spokesperson.
Yes, of course. You know, sometimes
They don't
once
give you
finish-
information.
No, some of the information they give information, but some of the information are not rightly available because it will need.
Or they are above you.
No, of course I would say they are above me. If I was within the level, I would have been part of cabinet. So where I sit, for now, I don't have. Updated information what happened until it.
But is the
given out.
government satisfied with the work of the HQC Prempeh committee?
Well, I would speak as a member, but not for the government in this circumstance because
Right.
they are still looking into it. For instance, if you look into the, one of the aspects that would have been a major attempt by President Akufo-Addo was the election of the MMDC.
That's right.
But we disagree because they will say that it should be done on party
partisan.
basis. We see it shouldn't.
But
happen
that
on
was not
partisan
the
basis.
original promise. The original promise was that you will elect your MMDCs. I remember
From
that
them.
so well.
Yes.
And then the initial thing that was taken to Parliament by Haji Alima Mahama at the time, was local government minister, was that elect your MMDCs. In fact, if you look at 241, Article 241, that's it. That's it. Yeah, 241. It didn't need a referendum. It just needed a simple majority to get it passed, because that's not an entrenched position, right?
I agree. I agree. But you see,
But it was pulled back.
it was pulled back. It points to the fact that there are many politicians who doesn't stick to their words. I don't know whether it was out of fear that when they allow it, maybe a lot of people who are not affiliated to MPP may not win. I don't know. I don't know what informed it. But what matters is that they pulled back as a result of the fact that we disagree that we shouldn't do the.
But if you look
election.
at our local governance structure, it is not supposed to be partisan. The whole local government structure that we
Absolutely.
have, the one that Professor Ahoy and his team, it was not supposed to be partisan at all.
And we agree. We agree that it shouldn't. If we really need the, decentralization and
Sunrise on 3FM.
development that we
Best in
need
the morning.
outside party promises, but real development like the people, what the people in those communities so deserve and need, it should be depoliticized. But MPP disagree. Now, as part of where I
Quickly,
also
we'll
disagree,
have to-
is I disagree that we should only cap Parliament to 276 without talking about redemarcation of lands. Some of the
Constituencies.
are more populated, and some are very large. For instance, Naliu Gamba constituency is very large. When you check the population and the land size can divide about 5 other constituencies in the northern aspect of
Yeah,
the
but in
country.
terms of the population,
And even
the land is
population-
big, but the population.
And even in terms of population, it can divide some constituencies by 3, 4. Yet it needs if it doesn't need a new constituency, but it needs redemarcation. For instance, redemarcate it and let part of the constituency be part of UU,
Okay,
which is
okay.
relatively smaller.
That's right.
Or Cherpony or Iran. So I
That
would
joining
say-
communities,
Thank
the
you.
constituencies should have
Thank you,
portions of
redemarcation. So I should think that I agree that they should cap it, or even I would have said they should even reduce it. But even if they are not to add up and capping, they should talk about redemarcation and reduce the burden that
Okay.
some other people
Fair
faces.
point, mate. Engineer Pepe, take a bite. Are you happy with the work so far done by Professor HPC Pepe? What are your takeaways?
Well,
Sunrise
Johnny,
on
let me
3FM,
first start
the
by
best in the morning.
addressing some misinformation that my brother here put out.
We don't have too much time, so
Okay, yeah, a quick
so
one.
you are chopping your time.
Yeah, fair point. Fair enough. The fact that President Akufo-Addo, has always wished for political parties to be involved in local elections, and that is why we needed to do the referendum, right? So yes, he promised that we should be electing our MMDCs, but at the same time, it has been his wish that whilst we are electing MMDCs, we should allow the political parties to be involved.
That was
in
not what he
local
told us in opposition.
No,
I
he-
followed him when he was in opposition.
Yes, he said we are going to make it electable, but he didn't tell you how.
No, he said
Exactly.
he said you
He's
will
going to allow
elect,
you to elect.
He said you will elect
Exactly.
your MMDCs.
Yes.
And then when they came to power in
Yes.
2017,
Uh-huh.
I remember Haji Alima Mahama was the first minister for local government.
Yes, she was.
She's a lawyer. She met the press and made it very, very clear. There was at no point
that you
during
will elect.
the conversations was there any
I'm-
politicization of the thing.
I'm not saying he didn't promise to allow people to
Sunrise
elect,
on 3FM,
right?
the best
But there
in
was
the
no
morning.
instance that he said that he explicitly, made mention that political parties should not be involved in local
But
elections.
his minister for local, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
that
she
his
said it shouldn't
minister
be-
it was after that meeting when she met MMDCs and said
So
she,
it's after when you saw the details
hold on,
of the promise.
Hold on. I'm saying that
Yes.
President Akufo-Addo in opposition promised us that we'll vote for our MMDCs.
Mm-hmm.
When power was given to him, I remember that in his first term, he would call Solomon Owusu, you stand by his side. He would mention your credentials and say why he's taking you to a certain ministry. I can play that tape for you.
Yes,
On
yes,
what he said about Haji Alima Mahama. He reiterated that. Haji Alima Mahama subsequently met the press in a closed-door meeting. And the politicization never came up. It was after that meeting, in fact, that when they finished the meeting with that, they met the MMDCs and said, we know those of you involved in Galamsey. And that, yes.
Johnny,
So I have a fine
Johnny,
chronology and a fine
you are
remembrance of...
misunderstanding what I'm saying.
So at what point did that politicization come into the conversation? Because the first thing that was sent, proposal that was sent to Parliament, did not have any politicization in it.
What I'm saying is that when they got to the implementation of it, that is where this kind of, okay, how do you want it done? That's where the politicization come in. Now, you see,
But you don't go and tell.
about,
But you don't go and tell a woman that I love you, I'll marry you, and then when it's time to marry, you say, "Well, I'll marry you on condition that."
oh, but if I tell you, if a woman tells you they love you and they marry you,
No, women don't marry men. Men marry women.
Oh, of course, they will allow you to marry them. And then all of a sudden you are getting married and you don't have a house, you don't have this, you can't provide for her. They can also decide not to come along. But anyway, you know, beside the point. You see, allowing political parties to be involved in local election. Do you know who it will benefit?
No.
The smaller parties.
Oh, okay. I
Yes.
see. Why,
So
why do you say that?
When I see the smaller parties talking against it, I just laugh. You know,
Your party.
the parties with no representation.
Referring to
The parties with no representation in parliament.
Oh, that.
So you understand it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've changed my words.
Oh, okay.
He has re-engineered his words.
Is that I say he's an engineer?
No, Johnny, why I say that, I grew up partly in the Netherlands, right? And there you can have smaller parties,
Closer to Schiphol.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
okay.
I live about 25 minutes from Schiphol.
Ah, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so-
Okay, that's fine.
So you have smaller parties who have a small base who can make a difference.
Of course.
Right? Now, in our dispensation now, smaller parties cannot make any difference. Because no matter how much percent they get, if they don't cross the bar to get to parliament, they become, they die off. Because you can't maintain that data, you don't go to parliament.
Yeah.
When we started the 1992 constitution, there were other parties in parliament.
NCP.
But at the particular moment, virtually they've all gone. Now, what happened with localization of political parties is the fact that certain parties can have a stronghold elsewhere. And because they have a stronghold elsewhere, they can build upon it. And that can take them to parliament. If you are able to elect an MMDC from a certain political party, and they do well locally, there's a chance for them to get a seat in parliament. Now, what will happen in the long run is that you will have these political parties here and there, right? And then in parliament, it will get to a point that you need more than one political party to form a majority. And that is where we get to a point where the winner takes all will reduce. So that's why I, for one, I still believe that we should allow the political parties to be involved locally. Because whether we like it or not, as we speak now, though it's not official, we know they are involved. So why must we hide it? Right. So as for that one, Johnny, I think we should rethink that.
Okay.
And look at the bigger goal, the long term. It is actually going to, strengthen our democracy.
What do you think of the 30-year age for your being qualified to become president?
I don't know. You see, there are certain countries where very young people have come to power and they've done well.
Macron.
Exactly, Macron. And I think in Senegal, he was
Senegal
also
as well,
40
yes,
years.
yes.
So I don't think we should just.
In fact, even in our
sweep it
country,
away.
Jerry Rawlings and
So there are
Nkrumah and-
situations where young people have done well when they came to power. So I don't think it matters much. If they are allowed, for me, it's okay.
Okay.
Right.
Solo,
Yes, so.
what are your thoughts? What is this constitution? We don't have too much time.
Oh,
you have taken a
let's
constitution.
we have expended a lot of money in the past. Professor Fiojo's committee, we expended about $6.3 million. Then Nana Akufo-Addo came, Kasati's committee, about 4 million Ghana. Ephraim Pen, Group 2, we would have expended something. So it's time to implement the various recommendations that are captured. For instance, the alignment of our policies with the national
development plan
is key. It's key. We cannot just have political parties come and then throw everything under the bus. That we have a different vision. It's the same vision that led us into the construction of a whole.
Oh, come on.
If
That was a promise to God. It was not a vision.
Even the promise that it was captured in their manifesto. You understand?
That what? Which
To
promise?
be electing MMDCs.
So if you were an engineer, you would have known that is not a hole. But anyway, carry on.
Oh, but what is it? You see that how they deceive your minds? That thing that is, there's no a hole.
If you are an
How
engineer,
can you convince?
won't call it a hole.
Okay, should I give you a
there's work.
The difference between a hole and what is there?
There's work that has gone. Concrete and
The whole.
and mats and columns
There's a lot of
and
things that
mats
have gone into
has
the
been sunk.
foundation of.
What? There is no funny. It's a hole. Don't let any engineer
Have you been there?
deceive you. I've been there.
And there's a hole.
That is why I go to check
There's
every
no concrete.
31st of
There's no concrete
December.
there.
Oh, you go there to do your crossover.
Yes, that's what I did. Since they constructed that hole, every 31st, I've made it a duty
Then we'll
to
build
go
it for
there.
you. We'll build it for
Because
you.
that is where Nana Kubaro has told us that we must be churching.
Okay, let's make progress.
So what I'm saying is that we must align our various policies with the national vision. We must have a national agenda so that when you come, you would not be doing anything otherwise of what all of us have. Again, I also disagree with Gafaro that the 276 members of parliament, they must take a second look. In fact, they must even reduce it.
No, he didn't say that we must take a second look. He said he doesn't disagree with the capping
Yes.
to keep it at 275.
Yes.
What he's saying is that some of the constituencies are too big in terms of
Yes.
the land size.
So he disagrees.
So some of them
Yes.
should be, if you like, demarcated.
So
So
it
like
will
you have,
increase it.
so like you had back in the day when you had Okankwe North,
Yes.
and Okankwe South.
Yes.
They found space in between
Yes.
and created Okankwe Central.
But he added.
But he's saying that don't add. Just expand the constituency to encapsulate that the boundaries should be extended,
But so
expanded.
you
But I
agree
think
that
they are already. There's already, there's already part of their.
Yeah.
Oh, then I got you wrong. Then if
No,
because
that's not what he
I
said.
believe
He said
strongly
we
that
should not add.
Even when we started, the constitution makes provision for 100, minimum of 140
Yes,
MPs.
yes.
I even believe that it's on the higher side.
That's how we started. We started from
We must
140.
reduce it. We are only creating unnecessary bureaucracies, unnecessary government expenditure for individuals who are barely contributing to the development of our country.
Oh, that's not fair to,
That
to the
is fair.
MPs. That's
That-
not fair
that
to
is
the
fair.
MPs. The MPs work a lot. They read a
As
lot.
we speak, one
They
is in Hague.
debate.
One is in Hague. As we speak, FBI is in town. One is in Hague. You see, sometimes some of these mass production, quality is better than quantity. They are making laws. It's not about you going there and saying yeah or so. You understand? So I believe that the number 276, it must even be reduced so that we get the quality. Again, I agree with them that we must separate parliamentary duties from those that want to be ministers. You
Executive.
see, the incidents of 1969, people misunderstood it. As a matter of fact, the budget that was presented by Jebekwe was actually passed. They had disagreements with the budget. They said, government, go back and do a good job. They misunderstood it to mean that because the parliamentarians were not ministers, they were kicking against the budget. If you want to be a legislature, go and perform that role. I can bet my last person that if you implement this, we will only have genuine people who want to be parliamentarians go to parliament.
It has never made sense to me that you have the leader of government business
Yes.
and the minister of parliamentary affairs
Yes.
sitting in cabinet.
Cabinet.
He discusses the thing
And then
and brings the thing, come to join you here
Yeah,
as
yeah,
majority leader, and he's helping you to debate it. So
How?
he's Ebusiapenyi here, Ebusiapenyi there.
So that one is
It's
key.
never made sense to me.
It's crucial, and I believe that we must implement it.
Separation of power.
Absolutely, you understand. But overall, I believe that the president, I think, is learning something from what happened to him when he took over from Professor Mays of blessed memory. When he came, the Fiajo's report was ready. He couldn't implement it. This time around, we must make it the last stop. That we implement what recommended, those doable ones. And some of them I disagree. We will go into it very well. The LGBTQ, they found a way. I was thinking it to be captured. We must go there and take it out. We must not leave any room, any ambiguity in terms of promoting this LGBTQ nonsense.
But you have a law, or we should put in the constitution.
Constitution is so clear. This young man, we are talking about age limit. The young man in Senegal, he came against all odds. He has signed LGBTQ. You can't go to Senegal and do that nonsense. We have been talking about the fact that, when we do that, it would prevent us from getting foreign direct investment. Between Ghana and the UAE, which of these countries get more direct foreign investors? Is it not the UAE? But go to UAE and go and behave with LGBTQ, then you will run away. So that is not the case. We must man up. Else, this country called Ghana will not have an identity.
It is not possible for this government to see a constitution done completely, or am I wrong?
No, but I mean, this is an amendment. They are not overhauling the entire constitution.
Right.
It's an amendment of.
But then referendum and conversations.
Oh yes, I mean it will come back to
it depends how much they want to adopt.
Exactly.
So if it's a few, then it might.
But you can prioritize it. For instance, separation of powers is very key. Experience of the past has shown us that if you continue on this tangent, a lot of people go to parliament with the view that they will be made ministers.
Right.
As the constitution says, appoint majority from where? Parliament. So they see that as an opportunity.
But so the 5-year term, I don't believe.
You don't want the 5-year
We've
term.
been having Akufo-Addo as a president.
That would have been
Oh,
worse.
come on, please.
So-
Be
Come on.
careful.
How is that?
Oh no.
You see,
We would have had a hell
It
of
is.
a time.
stop this-
I don't think the
too short.
5-year term is about personalities.
No, it's
It is
about
too
personality.
short.
You see, but you see, to have the 5 years.
Akufo-Addo will be vindicated. Posterity will be kind on Akufo-Addo. I'm telling you.
Are we-
Oh, he will be. I'm
There is
telling
no
you.
posterity anywhere under the sun. No,
If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for him, that 18 tons of gold, that 18 tons of gold, they couldn't have sold it.
7 million
What
toppable money,
what
dollars.
If you
to
don't
go and dig a
understand,
hole,
you
you
just
say
stop.
posterity. That posterity
I'm
will
telling
be
you.
a fake posterity. That posterity will never be allowed in this country.
Implementing the free SHS and allowing
Free
the
SHS
children
is a
of
constitutional
Chaco
provision.
seller. Why didn't they
Free
implement
SHS
earlier?
free SHS is a
what?
constitutional provision.
Why didn't they implement earlier?
Free
Why did they
it's a
implement
constitutional provision. What did you do about
For
it?
even
You were
thinking
giving
about
us
Agenda
the
111,
first
I'm telling
expired
you. So
rights.
I'll meet you here someday
Yes.
and you'll be praising the
I will
people.
never praise President Kufuor.
I'm telling
Even
you.
when
I'm telling you authority.
We'll go and then castigate him for digging that hole.
Johnny,
Yes, sir.
let's mark this day.
No,
Solo, let's mark
let's
this
mark
day.
it. Let's mark
Let's
it.
mark
Okay,
this day.
so
I like-
it's easy for us to mark this day because
Mark
today is
it.
15th of May,
you remember this day?
1979.
Yes.
There was an
So mark
incident,
it.
so
And I
it's
will
easy to mark this
never-
day.
Look, no posterity, no this my mouth.
But
will
so look, we
never
are already
praise
we are already
Kufuor.
in posterity.
Anyway, President Kufuor himself knows that he did not do
Oh,
well.
come on.
Oh,
He knows it.
Come
he
on.
was one of the best.
Somebody who
If
get
he did well, he would tell us
Other people
that
hack us.
prophesy that another leader will come and take us
Elderly
out of
people
the
will
country.
say-
You are lucky to have had him. He said you are lucky to have had him, President.
Exactly.
No, he said before he
We are
checked
lucky
out,
to have President
Johnny,
Kufuor.
before he checked out, he
He was
said
lucky to have
he
implemented
prophesied
Agenda
that
111.
before he
Lucky
checked
to have
out,
implemented.
he prophesied that
Somebody who
another
gave-
leader will come and
Akufo-Addo
take us
caused
out of the
COVID.
country.
Did Akufo-Addo call the war in Iraq?
Somebody who gave elderly people
Okay.
haircut, killed people
Oh.
by virtue of the action.
Come on.
They don't
Gentlemen,
listen to
As
come
we
out.
speak, cocoa farmers are dying as we speak. Cocoa farms are dying
I
as
thank
we
you.
speak now.
I thank you very much.
Cocoa farmers are dying.
Engineer Kwame Prempe is a member of the MPP's national communications team. He is also an MPP national organizer aspirant. A.A. Gafaru is a member of the NDC's communications team. And Solomon Owusu is the director of communications of the United Party. Thank you very much, gentlemen, indeed, for joining us here on the Big
Chief
Conference.
of Tema Post director says I should say hi to you.
Lawyer Zuma.
Yes.
Oh, Lawyer Zuma.
His PA said that.
Oh,